Okay, if you ever had a situation where you did a retrofit job, a control retrofit job, you came up with just the right solution for your customer. You gave them all the bells and whistles. Maybe you gave them analytics, but it was a cool system. You were proud of it, and the system failed. Not because there was anything wrong with what you did, or not because there was anything wrong with the controls, but because they weren't able to understand and use it. It was outside of their technology range. Hi, I'm Eric Stromquist with Stromquist Company and Controltrends.com. In this episode of Tech Tips, young gun Brent Burrows from Entek in Atlanta, Georgia, is going to offer some solutions to this. It's pretty simple what he comes up with, but also very profound. Those are my types of solutions, simple and profound. Okay, so check it out. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel, please do, and we'll check you on the flip side.
Hey guys, this is Brent Burrows here with your Tech Tip of the Week. This week's Tech Tip is brought to you by the Atlanta Braves, the unofficial and unknowing sponsor of Next Generation Innovation. Today we're going to be talking about identifying end users' skill level, identifying their problems, and creating solutions that'll help you win projects. As integrators, we have to be able to communicate clearly with a number of people with varying ranges of technical and building expertise. When doing a walkthrough or a bid, it's extremely important to sit down and identify the end user, their skill level, and their immediate, most pressing problems. This is important for a few reasons. You need to understand who's going to be using the product. That is, are they a property manager? Are they chief engineer, facilities director, maintenance technician? Who's really driving this whole process? And that's going to help you come up with your solution. So for example, I recently had a project where I went out to the site. The building was set up. It was a multi-zone building or a multi-zone system fed by one package unit that sat behind the building. They were calling because they had had issues with their system. It hadn't been working right for 8 months, and people are complaining inside the building saying they can't work in these conditions, and typical things that we've all heard before in this industry. So I go out there with the salesperson, we meet up, and this building is owned by somebody that owns a number of other buildings. So instantly my mind kind of starts, I look for growth, scalability of the solution. I'm thinking, all right, here we go. So I've got a solution that I need to come up with for this building, but maybe it needs to be bigger and then integrate into a Niagara supervisor one day. And, then your head can kind of start going, well, maybe we need to do some cloud solutions or, whatever with that. So anyways, go to the immediate problem at hand. Let's get the solution done for this building. Get in my idea of how I want to do it. But then I'm talking with the salesperson and I'm figuring out more that the end user for this building isn't going to be a facilities manager or an engineer, but it's actually going to be a woman who works at the office. And they only want her to make changes to the system, set points and scheduling from a computer on site. So all of a sudden, it kind of took me from this place where I was at, where I was thinking about the supervisor and integrating it with other buildings and, maybe pulling in, doing some lighting control, things such as that, saying, all right, Brent, let's scale it back and let's look at the simplest solution that we can have to solve these people's problem. So what ended up happening is I had been up to Stromquist for lunch and learn on some Prolon systems. If you hadn't heard of Prolon before, I recommend you check them out. They are a fantastic solution for the exact problem that I had. We ended up getting the project and were told that a large determining factor in awarding us the job was the fact that we came up with a simple and cost-effective solution compared to the other contractors who bid the job. So that's just a perfect example of why we identify the end user, identify their problem, and come up with the simplest solution to fix their problem. So that was an example of a more, I guess you would say, hands-on approach with an end user with a low level of technical expertise and a desire for a simple system, simple setup, with not much going on. We're just opening and closing dampers, turning a unit on and off. Very good for them. Other users are going to have more of a hands-on approach and tell you exactly what they want in a system. I found in larger commercial buildings is extremely beneficial. I go back to my days of when I used to run service, commercial HVAC, and then work on residential stuff. The best information that you can get always comes from the person that is at the space most often. I went to do a walkthrough with the facilities manager for a large campus where they were adding a building, and they already had a BAS contractor doing work at their buildings. But, like most new construction, anything like that, had to go out to 3 people. So I was one of the people out there, and it's always interesting knowing that somebody else is kind of a preferred vendor. It's kind of like, ugh, man, maybe I'm just wasting my time out here. But we were able to sit down in the meeting, look at the needs of the building, have gone through the submittals, and then really talk to the facilities manager about what about their current system works for them and what they would like to improve on. And I think one of the major things that helped sell us to them on this project was being able to say, tell us exactly how you want this thing to work, how you want to look, and everything. And we're going to do that just for you. We're going to set up site design meetings. We're going to go through it. It's going to be an ongoing building process of your site. So if something comes out and doesn't look quite right to you or wasn't how you envisioned it, then we can backtrack and then move another way. But that's just another example of how finding a hands-on user and then giving the ability to design their own system helped us win another project.
Okay, there you go. I think you'll agree that was some great counsel from Brent Burrows with Entek in Atlanta. Hey, if you're an HVAC control pro and you have something to say, I've got a proposition for you. Hit me up at hvaccontrolpro@gmail.com. And essentially, if you want to make a video or record audio with a tech tip and if you want to have your tip featured on the Control Trends YouTube channel and Controltrends.com. Would love to do it. We'll give you complete credit for it, just like we do with Brent. But I think, man, the more we share, the more we pass the wisdom on, the better all of us are going to be. So again, if you got something to say, a tech tip, please let me know. I'll give you the details on how to get the stuff to me. But basically, all you need to do is shoot a video with your smartphone, or just record the audio like Brent does with this smartphone. I'll tell you how to get that stuff to me, and we'll get you up on the YouTube channel as well. So remember, be bold, stay in control, have a great day, and hey, man, share a tech tip.